When I'm president, I will use Title 42 to end the trial, and we have to do this.
To do so.
You bring up your opponent, Donald Trump. He has said of your executive action, he's pretending to finally do something about the border, but it's all about show. He says we have a debate coming up. Biden's executive order is weak and pathetic.
Is he describing himself? Weak and pathetic? Come on. Look, everybody knows what's happened. We had a deal. It was much broader than this, much better, much more accepted across the board. And he got on the phone and told the Republicans, don't support it. It will hurt me, it will help Biden.
You did address Donald Trump and the guilty verdict on 34 felony counts before the American people. You told Americans to respect the jury and the outcome of this case. You were at a campaign fundraiser and you told the room a convicted felon is now seeking the office of the presidency. You called it disturbing. What do you think the American people should make of this? How important do you think this conviction should be in this race for president?
That's for the public to decide, but one thing for certain is stop undermining the rule of law.
And there may be, is there any criminal from Venezuela in the room? Please raise your hand. There probably is, we just don't know about it.
Stop undermining the institutions. That's what this whole effort is. All the MAGA Republicans are coming out saying this was a fix, this was a jury that this was a judge that set up to get Trump. There's no evidence of any of that. None. He's trying to undermine it. Look, he got a fair trial. The jury spoke like they speak in all cases, and it should be respected.
I've said this several times before. Things do get kind of misty in the fog. Like the truth. Let's deal with Glitch himself, Trump. Why is he being heavily edited, even in TV interviews now? Is there something they're trying to hide?
You'd be the first one to do it. I know you. You'd say, what? Let's get rid of these. You know the money they save and the danger they save?
And look at this map that...
Quite clearly, there's a parallel universe going on between how the Trump handlers, social media, his friends within the media are trying to put over Trump and what's really going on. For example, you would actually believe, or they want you to believe, that the Trumpy Trumps are the party of law and order. Yet, you've got, I cannot believe this actually happens, by the way, you have Republicans booing the police. I kid you not. On tape, those who are defending our freedoms, defending the Capitol building on January the 6th, Republicans, watch this. Unreal.
State House this week, where their introduction caused some Republican state representatives to walk out in protest.
They are traveling the nation and sharing their stories to raise awareness to the threats of democracy in our nation. Sergeant Gonell and Officer Dunn, please stand. Welcome to the floor of the House.
All right, you heard some cheering there that was apparently from Democrats who were cheering them. David Chalian, it's just sort of stunning to me that this is where we are, that these guys, I've repeated, I was in the building, I was in the complex that day. These people protected me and everyone else who was in the building that day. And it's really hard to see them booed.
Yeah, obviously, what they did that day deserves nothing but the respect of all Americans. There is this inherent political piece of this, which is why you end up getting a reaction like, Harry Dunn himself was just running as a Democratic candidate for Congress, lost the primary. They went outside Donald Trump's trial, which got so politicized. And so what happens is, once you sort of enter the realm of the political arena, all of this, it's like, and I don't blame them. They have a mission that they're on, and they want to defend democracy and promote that mission. But once you enter the arena, you invite this kind of reaction, which is totally out of bounds because of what they're there to talk about, their experience on January 6th and how they did try to defend democracy that day. That seems like you should be able to separate that from just pure partisan politics. But this issue of defending democracy, look at all the polling around this issue. It evenly splits the country. It's like a high priority issue for voters. Republicans and Democrats see it from two totally different vantage points. And so you end up taking these heroes of that day and now they're sort of mired in the mud of our toxic politics.
I just think it's important to underscore that it's Donald Trump that dragged them there.
Yeah, they weren't defending democracy.
Yeah.
They were defending the legislators who were at the Capitol that day who had a mob sicked on them. And this is where Republicans have completely lost the plot. I mean, it is like the Alito's flag at their house. It is completely upside down in terms of what the Republican Party has decided that it is going to side with the insurrectionists actively. And you're going to see a lot of signs and hear a lot of rhetoric about backing the blue. And that is going to exclude people who backed the blue against insurrectionists. Instead, they're going to sing a national anthem to defend the people who attacked the Capitol that day. It's not just politics. And this goes back to the conversation we were having about Ronald Reagan and Joe Biden. Right now, these people, these MAGA Republicans in that movement, they don't like America. Donald Trump doesn't like America. One of the characteristics of the Republican Party that I was attracted to is that it thought America was a good place. We did things right here. We would never do something like storm our own Capitol. That's third world banana republic stuff, and it's not what happens in the United States of America. And the MAGA movement and Donald Trump has decided to lionize these people to the point where legislators in a state house think that it is okay to boo the people who defended us actively when they show up.
Yeah, your point about America, I mean, it's built into the message of the Trump campaign, right? That America is not great, right? Fundamentally, and it's gotten darker with this third, I guess, presidential run.
Was that?
I want to talk about this with Congressman James Clyburn, also of South Carolina, congressman there, key player and confidant, and the man who made President Joe Biden possible. Good to see you, Congressman. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for having me.
Let me ask you a little bit about what Tim Scott's doing here. They think they have an opportunity to make big gains with the African-American vote. This is part of that effort. What do you think?
Well, Tim is an optimist, and so am I. So it's good to think that way. But, you know, I'm a little bit insulted that someone would qualify their efforts in the African American community monetarily. $14 million effort. How about an effort to deliver affordable health care, an effort to deliver affordable housing? Lay out your platform. We elected a president who has a platform that he's laid out to the American people. The last time the former president ran, he refused to do a platform. And if a political party decides not to lay out a platform for the American people, everything is going on in the head of the principal, that's a problem for me. So I would say to my friend Tim Scott, lay out your platform for the American people. Let the African American community know exactly what you plan to do about health care, not run on getting rid of the Affordable Health Care Plan as you did the last time, as opposed to a president who has put 45 million additional people with health insurance in this country.
And it's prompted this push by the GOP to reach out to these groups. They're disaffected, they're angry, and they seem to be listening to what Republicans have to say. Maybe it doesn't last, but are you worried?
You're right, it won't last simply because these are the bots that are taking over. I just heard this morning that I'm one of 20 congresspeople that they have been using to spread lies about my views as it relates to Gaza. I am for a two-state solution, been for a two-state solution forever. And for people to put out there that I am on the other side, for some reason, this Republican Party lives and exists on lies. If you feel so comfortable about your position, Why spread all these lies about what Jim Clyburn and 19 other Democrats?
To be honest, Congress, I don't know about that. I'll look into that. All I know, you don't need bots or sinister plots to say go into a grocery store and prices are still high. Inflation, or at least the acceleration, has come down a bit. But that's what most Americans feel. They don't need a bot to tell them that hamburger prices are double what they are. They don't need a bot to tell them that almost everything they want to buy is a lot costlier than it was since Joe Biden took office. Now, should he get all the blame for that? Probably not. But the fact of the matter is there's no sinister intentions going on here. The president's got a devil of a time selling people on the notion the economy is as great as he says it is. There are clear improvements here. This is a still strong economy. Markets have reflected that. Some of these numbers have reflected that. But it's not registering with the American people. So how do you explain that?
Well, I explain it this way. Accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. It's just the opposite with you guys. You want to accentuate the negatives and don't even mention the positives. I
just mentioned the positives to you. I just mentioned the things that are going right here. And it's not connected with the American people. Is that a failure on the president's part to make a compelling case? Or do you think Americans are offended of all stripes and persuasions, Congressman, when he tells them it's okay, things are well? And they're saying, no, Mr. President, all things are not going well.
Well, all things are not well. No question about that. But there's much more going that's positive than negative. But if you want to accentuate the negative, there's not much I can do about that. But that's what you guys do on this network. Y'all deal in negativity, and y'all deal in misrepresentations.
How long have you known me, Congress? How long have you known me, Congress? All right,
I've known you a long time.
Then let me ask you that. Do you think the president has to take a full approach to this?